And good morning, my friends. It is 10:37 a.m. on August 29th, 2023 on a Tuesday morning. Hope everyone's had a good weekend and a safe weekend as we get close to the next full moon starting tomorrow. Anyways, let's cut to the chase. I want to talk about things that have been going on, facts, facts and warning signs of criminal activity, drug trafficking, prostitution, human trafficking, and stalking. Okay, the first thing is right now our youth is being targeted by predators who get our youth into prostitution, drugs, and into the criminal world basically. They recruit them, they target them, they stalk them, they predatorize them. Um, the young girl I mentioned who was high on crack running around the hallways here a few months ago, and the neighbors in the 50s here and so forth and more have been around her, who are also known for that kind of thing. Well, I was coming home with my boyfriend, and we caught her leaving that troublemaker neighbor's place, hyper and racing out to the stairwell. Now, was she paying her money for some kind of human trafficking thing, or getting drugs for drug trafficking, or just for herself? Or, yeah, right, she was handing out gift cards to her. I don't think so. Anyways, yeah. Um, these people never take the elevator because they don't want to be caught in the elevator camera, so they take the stairwell to go up to the floor that has no camera, of course, so they don't get caught or suspected of so forth, suspicious activity. The only thing camera that can get them is a lobby camera. As we were coming in, there was another young gentleman staring at me forlornly, giving me a very angry look. So obviously he knows who I am, probably already pointed out who I am, trying to stop an end and control this drug trafficking and prostitution epidemic that's going on, possibly human trafficking, and they are being trafficked against their will through violence or whatever, who knows. Anyways, yeah. She was wearing a pink backpack and she raced out her apartment, ran down the stairs to this gentleman who was probably waiting for her, more than likely. So, meaning she was not there very long. Just quick dash and go for something. I'm not sure. Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine, but it's very suspicious. Anyways, yeah. Um, if our youth is being targeted and or trafficked or whatever and all that, another thing I'm thinking of to put a control over the drug trafficking in high schools and so forth, for instance, besides upping security and giving presentations. Another idea is give regular blood tests for drugs, for the kids, or for those especially who are acting radically on a regular basis. Oh, that would be kind of just have regular blood tests, for the students to make sure that they have no drugs in the system and so forth. That's one way of doing it. Have a doctor, nurse there, and not naloxone kids regularly. Of course, that's mandatory now these days with the OD crisis and so forth. Okay, and that's my first topic of the day. These predators go all over. They go down to the high schools. They have the older ones, let's say, not pampering them, but grooming them. They get groomed by the older generation into the drugs and prostitution, obviously, pretending to be good people when obviously they are not. And they do anything to make themselves look good people when they are obviously not with records. Anyways, yeah, truth is the truth. And yeah, as for stalking and so forth, just to let you guys know, there was a man stalking me, my friend, who has been actively involved in the courthouse on and off through her life, and her other friend. We all know each other. The other one's on my Facebook as well. And we got to look at this guy in this car. He changes vehicles. He comes on the bus. He has been stalking us apparently at various locations. And one of my other friends got a picture of him taking a picture of her and also got his license plate. He has stalked me. I've seen this car at this building more than a few times. So obviously there's some kind of connection between the drug trafficking and criminal activity going on and this guy, more than likely. Who knows what? Human trafficker? Who knows? Just a stalker after indigenous people? I don't think that's a police officer. I don't think so. But this person has been around. My friend got his license plate and everything. He's been here. I don't know what's going on about that. Who knows? But yeah, now we're on to that guy. So all three of us, and targeting all three of us are indigenous as well, stalking all three of us. And I've seen him, and any vehicle I see, he tends to change vehicles, and also on the bus sometimes downtown core. Obviously, some kind of predator or something. I'm not sure, but if he's stalking us, then something's going on there too as well. He's been around this building too. Something's going on there as well, including the ties with these criminal-oriented, troublemaking neighbors who have given me a hard time in the past, physically, mentally, and harassingly. So, and threateningly as well. Anyways, yeah. As for the physical changes in our youth, three things to look into is behavioral changes. Like if there's suddenly change in their mood, like from super high to super low, of course that could indicate bipolar disorder, of course, as well. You can't confuse the two, and also depression as well. So, but that's one of the symptoms, highs and lows. Another good indicator is sudden change in friends or social circle. If someone suddenly starts seeing a new crowd, and their behavior changes drastically from engaged in healthy activities, healthy social activities as keeping physically active, etc. That's another indicator that they're into something shady. Also, personality changes. You can go from upbeat, like I said, to lower energy, and decline in motivation, like I said, for healthy activities instead of unhealthy activities and suspicious people around them. And also, they get confrontational and angry as well. If you try to find out if they are using drugs or something in that. These people also tend to get threatened or intimidated or manipulated or groomed into their bad habits as well by the bad circle. Of course, it's another thing that's what I observed. As an outreach worker, well, outreach volunteer before, people have told me a lot of stories of how they got into things and so forth. So I'm aware of that. Physical changes, of course, with weed. You smell the weed, the eyes get red from the weed, of course. Another thing to look at is their eyes. Pupils tend to get overly large or very, very small, depending on the drug they use. So looking at the eyes is another factor as well. Shakiness too indicates withdrawal. Sudden races to the washroom, like frequent stops to the washroom. Could be more than just a simple bladder infection. Trying to shoot up, trying to take drugs or get over the withdrawal or something like that. That's another indicator as well. Yeah. So a good idea is to have regular blood tests in schools and everything, all that. Have students try to work on a journal project in school too. That's not a bad idea. Do a journal of what they do in school, what they do after school, so you get an idea of what their social activities are like. And yeah, it can be traced back if they are doing good activities, good. If they're doing bad activities, they will tend to change the facts probably or not engaged in the journal at all. That's another good idea. Have them engage in a journal. Have an assignment in journals. Check it out every week, and see and have them do a presentation about their day. And yeah, something like that. That will help track down their movements and see the behavior changes, if any, and let everyone else see if they have any behavior changes as well. Those are good ideas. And always be aware of your surroundings. It's not a good idea for the youth to wear big headphones anymore, where it's so obvious that they are listening to music, where someone can come along and easily um, confront them or go at them for attacking, for instance. That's another thing, too, for safety of our youth. They have to be careful of that. As well, of course, being aware of the traffic and so forth around them, of course. That's another no brainer. But yeah, I don't think that neighbor was giving out candies or gift cards for these people who race in and out so fast, you know. I mean, come on, drugs or paying money for who knows, I don't know. God knows what. I don't want to know, but let the police and investigators look into that and find out what's going on. Maybe both. Who knows? As the police know, this is a hot spot for all kinds of suspicious activities. And just to let you know, that girl with the pink backpack who went to her place and left, it was around 1:15 p.m. yesterday on August the 28th that happened when she was leaving her place. And the gentleman outside was by the flower bed, away from the camera view, of course, giving us the evil eye. So, anyways, both of them youngsters in the 20s, not very old. The youth being targeted, obviously. Take care of your youth and take those suggestions in mind for parents and for schools as well. And that will help hopefully prevent any more people being converted to the dark side of drugs and human trafficking. And maybe if they are being victimized and stalked, keep aware of the signs and keep aware of the surroundings. Maybe keep a little camera with you, even if your phone is, phone or a little mini camera or something, anything. Just keep them safe and keep them away from the drugs and the human traffickers and drug pushers and so forth, because the young is definitely being targeted. Anyways, that's it. Take care, stay safe, and help protect our youth from the predators out there, including indigenous people, where all three of us in our case is actively being stalked by somebody. As we got the license plate and the picture of them as well, chasing vehicles and so forth. But we're getting there to find out who this guy is too. Take care, stay safe, and we gotta help each other. Make which. Have a great day.